Is your team using HubSpot and you want to work smarter, not harder using the AI in the platform? Well, I'm going to show you in this video a couple of ways that I like to encourage my clients to get started with AI in HubSpot without a big heavy lift. So the first place that we want to look at is the contact record. So recently HubSpot released these activity summaries, which gives us a good summary of all the activity and information that is on that contact record. So before you kind of have to go through the entire activity feed to figure this out, now this activity summary, if you don't have it yet, you do want to turn this on your product updates, but it's going to summarize the information relative to that contact. Now, if I want to see an in-depth summary, I can use the Copilot. When I click on this, it pops out this Copilot, which then summarizes a lot more activity. This is a test record. So again, if there were deals here or if we had a long history, that would show much more. But this is going to be significant as your team's trying to manage a lot of conversation across a lot of contacts in your CRM. So definitely put this to work. Now, once we have that activity summary there, let's say that we need to re-engage this person or reactivate a lead because we haven't heard from them for a while. So if I were to use Copilot to actually re-engage them, now I can use the prompts and I can select this to write a re-engagement email. So right here, we've got draft email to reactivate lead. So if you're not training your sales team on where these prompts are and where it might be helpful, that's going to be a miss because they're going to jump off to ChatGPT or Perplexity or something, which are all good tools. But here we've got it right inside of HubSpot. So if I click on draft email to lead, it's going to ask me two things. The last time I heard from them, so I'm going to say it was December 2024, and they were last interested in buying. We sell a program called Fix My HubSpot with Simple Strat to shore up their reporting and database structure. Okay, so that would be the overarching message. Now, Copilot's going to draft a message for me to use. And when I look at this, it says revisiting your HubSpot. Looks like revisiting your HubSpot goals, dear recipient. So this message here, again, might not be perfect, but it's going to be farther down the road than jumping back and forth between windows. So I can just actually hover over this and then select this clipboard option. I can copy the message. And then if I go right over here into emails, I could choose to write that email right inside of this interface right here. So that's going to be one easy way for your sales team to just stay inside the platform and really blow through a lot of follow-up with leads thanks to that Copilot. Now, the next place I'd like to see AI put to work is actually in this reports area. So when we've got reports, we've got these insights that you can actually take advantage of here. So if I wanted to look at this report, again, as an experienced marketer, I could tell you kind of what I'm seeing here. But if I wanted to look at the insights and have AI help me, I can actually now generate insights that are written that I could put inside, let's say, an email update, or I might want to post these in Slack and then say, go look at the report here. So this is actually really helpful when it comes to interpreting, saving time. Again, I really like this report for that reason. Now, the next step here, I'm going to dovetail this with the next update, which is using AI to generate the descriptions of things across your portal. So when you embed HubSpot reports inside of a dashboard, you often just embed the report in the title. But every good report has a description as to what it is and why it exists. So you can use AI to do that here with Copilot. So when I click on this little generate button, it's going to give me a report. It actually even gives me the parameters that I set for this report. So again, keep in mind that whatever you select in the middle of the screen, as far as how the report is sourced date-wise, will show up in the description as well. Let's say this is what I wanted, and I can just easily click save. So that's going to be another time saver there. So speaking of descriptions, when you go to your workflows, this is also an area that is something to keep in mind, is every good HubSpot admin knows that not clicking into a workflow saves us time. So if we can have a description for each workflow here, that's going to save our organization time. It's going to create shared understanding. So if I wanted to do that, I would open up a workflow. This is an example of one. I'm going to go to about this workflow, and I'm just going to generate that description. For that workflow, I'm going to go ahead and click save once that populates, assuming it's correct. In this case, this is what this does. Creates an upsell deal with the pending recommendation to Tyler, marks it as close one. Again, we're going to save that. So when that is saved, and I go back to my workflows here, and if I reset this page, you'll see that now we have that description there. And even as a pro tip, if I wanted to see all of the workflows that don't have a description, I can simply use my filters here to show if the description is known or unknown. And then I can apply that filter and see that there. So the next one is going to be a more powerful tool that came into our workflows called Ask Breeze. That's going to be an action inside of our workflows. So in this case, we're using it to interpret data and then give us a response. So we've got, for this particular string of data, we've got the group We know that the state and region is populated. The code, so let's say the state's New York, the code would be NY. That is unknown, so that's blank in HubSpot. And we want to make sure all of our records in HubSpot have clean data, so they have the state and the abbreviation. And here, Breeze AI is helping us. So when we inserted the Ask Breeze AI action, we're asking it to return the standard 2-letter postal abbreviation for the state, which it does. And then in this edit record, we can say, go ahead and edit this property within a contact record with the response that came from the action that we just did here in Breeze. So there's a lot of application for this, lots of ways we could use it, but that's just one use case that you might want to try. The last way I love to use AI inside of HubSpot is the new Content Hub. So I wanted to show you how we'd put a blog to work and turning it into an audio that we might send out to listen as opposed to being read. So if I'm in this podcast area within Content Hub, I just click on Create. And I'm actually going to put my episode name here. Let's say that it's going to be time-saving tips for entrepreneurs. And what I'm doing here is looking at this. We already wrote this article called The Lazy Entrepreneur's Guide to Working Smarter with HubSpot. Of course, we all want to work less, lay in the hammock. Let's let AI do some of the work, but we've already got this. So we're just going to generate audio from the text, and we're going to go ahead and add all of that in here. So this is actually going to be all one section. I've got all the details here, and I've got Alloy, Echo, Fable. We can play any of these to see what they sound like. Let's say that we want to be British and a little conversational. So I'm going to generate the audio preview. Let's do that now. So I can actually preview this text down here, and I tend to listen to my podcast on 1.5 speed, so I could even preview what that sounds like here. And if I wanted to generate the full episode, I can do that here. I'll get the MP3, and then again, you're off to the races. So I think this is huge. I think this is a really strategic part of content repurposing here in HubSpot. Now, it's not going to be the same for everybody, but I do think that this is going to be one of the powerful ways to put HubSpot AI to use long-term for your organization. So those are just a couple of ways to use AI in your organization in HubSpot. Make so that you actually get more out of the platform before exploring external tools. If you need additional support and you want to check out some resources, we've got webinars on our website. We've got some checklists, some downloads, and of course, we do have more videos about HubSpot. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.